What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. Behind me here is Stangosaurus. And before we get started, if you have not already got your merch, feel free to check out teespring.com/store/goldpony since the holidays are coming up and all that stuff. But anyways, today what we are going to do is 7 must-knows before modifying your car. In case you guys don't already know, this is not the first car I have modified previously. I had a DC5 Integra, took it to shows up and down the East Coast, put around $10,000 into it. Definitely had some fun with that one, and now 2019 Ford Mustang GT, of course, also in the process of modifying. So figured that put me in a decent position to go ahead and make this video. So hopefully this helps some of you guys. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below at the end of the video, and let's get started. And so to start, the first thing you may want to consider before modifying a car is the weight. And there are some exceptions, like let's say you're a YouTuber and you want to make some awesome videos, but other than that, typically there is going to be a break-in period for cars when you first buy them, and also you may want to consider waiting until the warranty has expired, because in a lot of cases, if you modify a car, it will void the warranty, but not all cases. But typically you're only going to void the warranty if that particular modification that you did had a role to play in whatever broke. So for instance, if you lower your car in lowering springs and the shocks happen to fail, more than likely that is not going to be covered then under warranty because of the lowering spring modification that you had done to your vehicle. Again, you do not have to wait. It's just something to consider and be aware of if you plan on modifying your car while you are still under that manufacturer warranty there. But next thing I wanted to mention before even modifying your car is take into account the resale value, because that resale value may not necessarily increase with the modifications that you do. It actually depends on how you modify it, really. For instance, if you go too crazy with the modifications, you more than likely will end up decreasing the value of your car. So for example, if you put a massive rear wing on the back, or if you buy a $50,000 car and put insanely cheap wheels on it, or if you buy a bright green car and put pink emblems on it, again, all of these modifications are not going to be in your best interest when it comes to resale value. And another thing, the more commonly known saying is built, not bought, not vice versa. So typically when they buy a car, a lot of times they're not going to buy a modified car again unless it is absolutely flawless, just the way they like it. But it is going to be more difficult to sell a modified car than a completely stock car. Unless you find that perfect buyer, most people are not going to like every single modification that you do to a car. Which leads me into my next point. Once you start modifying a car, be sure to keep the original parts. Again, if you plan on selling it down the road, it is going to be a lot easier to revert the car back to a stock setup and get it sold than it would be to keep it in that modified setup and try to sell it that way. Plus, in addition to that, if you revert it back to the stock setup, you can take those modified parts and actually sell them outright. There are plenty of people that want to buy those modified parts for their own vehicle. Financially, it makes more sense to revert it back to its stock form because it's going to be easier to sell your vehicle that way. And then you get some extra money from selling the parts outright as well. Number 4, and perhaps the most important thing to consider before modifying your car, just based on my past experience with my last modded car, keep in mind drivability. And I mention this because a lot of times when people start modifying their car, they don't necessarily do all the research that's required. For instance, when I had my DC5 Integra, I went ahead and put on a cold air intake, and that cold air intake was located very close to the ground. So when it started raining, a lot of times the cold air intake would start sucking up water, and of course that leads into the engine, and that was not a good thing. So essentially, by me adding my cold air intake, it made that car undrivable when it rained, which was unfortunate since it was my daily driver. And to use the Mustang as an example, you guys know I did a resonator delete and put on an X-pipe, which I absolutely love on the Mustang. If I were to do a muffler delete as well, I have a feeling Stangosaurus would be absolutely way too loud and completely annoy me every time I went to drive it. And I also would not be able to film videos while driving as well, because you guys wouldn't be able to hear me because of how loud the car would have been. So again, I kept in mind drivability. I learned from my past mistakes, and I am not going to do a muffler delete for that particular reason. Another example, when I was tinting the lights on Stangosaurus, it actually did come with a full headlight tint that I could have put on, But if I did put that on, I would not be able to see a single thing out the front at night. And again, keeping in mind drivability, that is not something I wanted to do because I did want to drive Stangosaurus at night every now and then. And ultimately, if you're modifying a vehicle, you are an enthusiast and you want to be able to drive your vehicle in all conditions, or at least as much as possible. So definitely keep in mind drivability before you go modifying any car there. Next thing on my list I have to mention is keep in mind the installation cost. Of course, if you plan on doing the installation for whatever modifications that you get, completely disregard this step. But if not, keep in mind the installation cost, because although a wheel and tire combination may cost $2,000 or $3,000, it may cost an additional, I don't know, $500 to have that installed. And the same thing goes for an intake or an X-pipe or whatever you end up doing to a car. If you do not do the work on the car yourself, please keep in mind the installation cost, because you don't want to get the parts and then not have enough money to actually get them installed on your vehicle. So since we're on cost, that will lead me into the next thing you have to consider when modifying your car. Don't pay full price. And I say this because in a world of social media, you do have the power to not pay full price every single time you get a modification for your car, just about. For example, even if your vehicle is not sponsored by any particular company, you can still get coupon codes just about everywhere for any place that you go to. For example, when I first started modifying Stangosaurus, I found coupon codes for CJ Pony parts, and I was able to save a little bit of money there. But in addition to that, if you watch other YouTubers that are sponsored in their vehicles and you have the same vehicle, a lot of times they will also give you coupon codes specific to them. Again, another way to save money. And like I said, they are everywhere. You can do a simple Google search for whatever the place is that you're going to buy parts from, then type in coupon code after that. It will more than likely give you a way to save some money, or at least knock out the shipping for you. So that is definitely something to consider as well. Last thing I wanted to mention, and the most important thing about modifying a vehicle, is to make it your own. The best part about modifying a car is making it specifically tailored to you. Not everybody may like it. For example, not everybody may like the Eibach lowering springs that I put on this thing, which does lower the car a little bit more than most other lowering springs on the Mustang. But for me, I absolutely loved it because it eliminated every little bit of fender gap between the tires and the fender, and that looked absolutely brilliant to me. And there's always a million different options for modifying your car, and that really does allow you to really make it your own and like nothing else on the road if you wanted to. So in the end, that is the best part, and it is addicting. So once you start doing it, it is going to be difficult to stop, especially opening the boxes, seeing the new parts when you first get them, and if you can, having the enjoyment of actually installing them on yourself. It is much more meaningful if you do that. And my theory is anybody can really install any part. Of course, you have YouTube for that, so there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube for how to install just about everything. Anyways, that is my short list of 7 must-knows before modifying your car. And so, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold. If I could take you up and boom, 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 tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.